This is kind of collaboration, right? For years we've been told, like, you need to collaborate all the time with every teacher, every second of the day, and you need to plan from the beginning to the end. You have to grade the papers with the teachers, or you're not doing your job as a teacher librarian. So here's the reality. You can't do it all the time. The reality is you can't do all those collaborations all the time. And the reality, too, for me has been, when I push that too hard, I lose my people. So an example of that is when I started, I was, so excited and started with my endorsement. This is about 11 years ago, and I had all these forms that I made my teachers fill out if they wanted to collaborate with me. And in fact, they couldn't come talk to me, I don't think, until they had the forms done. I was really special. So I had this science teacher who wanted to do some work, and I said, "But have you filled out the form?" He wasn't interested in the form, and it's been a tough road for me to get him back. So my point here is that we're going to hurt ourselves if we put those barriers in the way of us working with teachers. And you can't do that top level all the time. So that said, I really love the collaboration triangle from the K12 training, which was, probably 7 or 8 years ago now. Betty Marcoux provided this for us as part of her work developing that curriculum. And I like to try to be on all the rungs of this at different times of the week. So sometimes people are coming in and consuming the library, and that's great. They're using the library. They're at that level of the sea. And then other times, we're coordinating. I'm providing some resources. I'm providing some links. I've designed a graphic organizer for them. And then other times, we sit together in that chair without the form, and we do talk a project from beginning to end. One of the most influential people in my work, in my daily work, is Marianne Hunter from Timberline High School. And she always tells me, "Sarah, it's all about relationships." Well, she doesn't really say it in that voice, because that's weird. But she always tells me that it's all about relationships. And she has this magical ability to make friends with everybody at her school. Even when I know she doesn't like them very much, she's stuck and work with them. And so she's always telling me it's all about relationships. And so I think about all the people that have not only mentored me, including people sitting up here, Mike, and Susan, and Christy Kalin, and I even have a student from my high school who's now a teacher librarian who worked at my position last year, Jessica Von Wendell. And these are all people that have taught me new ways of doing things and helped me pick the nits off along the way. With parents, with people at district office, we have to be available to them, and we have to build those relationships with them. We are sharers as teacher librarians. That's what we do, right? We provide things for people, we share with them. And developing those relationships are so important to being successful in the long run. Oh, those are darker even than I had hoped they were. But so I wanted to provide some pictures because, Mike had said, you need to bring some pictures of your librarian, Sarah. And because I don't like to be up here thinking I have it all figured out, because I really don't. I mean, I call Marianne about 10 times a day saying, "This is not working, what do I do it differently?" But here's some examples of what's possible. What I do like about the pictures that you can't really see, especially on the bottom left one, is that kids are leaning into each other. They're working together, and they're using multiple kinds of resources at one time. So they're able to use electronic resources, and they combine them with print. For me, I've really been thinking about in the past few weeks is that this search environment has evolved so much. I used to be able to really control it. I used to be able to roll out my cart of books that I'd selected exactly for this project, that I knew they could find the information in, and that is not the truth anymore. We can't restrict them. And I don't want to restrict them, but I want to support them. So the support I can do is make sure they have the skills to tackle those resources that they're going to run into along the way. Now, I love the picture on the upper right because I have the laptop bar right next to the encyclopedias, with the hope that someday they might actually look at the encyclopedias. And Mike said, do they ever use them? I said, well, when I drag them out, they do. And they love them when I get it in their hands, but that's not, as you know, the place they choose to go. They choose to do, at the bottom picture there on the bottom right, have their laptops working together and working through projects. That really, really helped the library meet the needs of students. Is I looked at how my students were using the library. And as I'm sure they do in your school, they just came in and went to the computers. Or they came in and went to the couches. And so what I did is I said, wow, everything my students want to use is here. The fiction, the couches, and the library are all in kind of a big clump. So I weeded most of my reference and got rid of everything that they had easy access to and good access to electronically. And I got rid of a number of shelves, and I put the fiction on one side, opposite the computers, so they would spread themselves out a little more. And I found them using the library much more effectively because I was meeting the needs of how they were going to use it. So think about how that might help you, is actually if reorganizing it might help you. And it hasn't, it's been working well. I've been happy with the flip. All right, so I'm done, but I want to show you the three things that I think we need to focus on the checklist. I really like Mike's new concept of, am I able to do the teaching or am I able to do managing? And this idea of so many of us are part-time, that maybe the reality is management is what we are going to be able to do. Manage and plan and do less in front instruction and coordination in that way. But accept that, embrace it, and do it. Don't give up on it. Deciding what's important in your school, that gear image is how I imagined it. Mike likes the pie chart thing. Figure out what you need to be doing. Make sure you have the lit agenda as your filter, and make sure you're doing what your community needs, what your school needs, what your students need. And then the make it fun idea. I think that having the library be a place where students want to be, but my flipping the library has made it a place that students want to be. I've let go of the idea that when you're in the library, you have to be using library resources, because I can't provide all the resources they want. They have it on their phone, they have it on their laptop, and they have it in their textbook. So I'm going to provide a place for them to be. Thank you.